Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho, back at you again with another video. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever had the experience of a loved one passing away, but sometimes people get left an inheritance. And sometimes, depending on the situation, either the inheritance doesn't get split between the parties of people who believe they're entitled to it, or sometimes it gets left to one person and they decide how to split it and what to do with it. Now, I've never had that personal experience of splitting an inheritance, but I know people who have, and trust me, people can go pretty crazy over the littlest amount of things, and a lot of times this revolves around money. Now, people will change their morals, and sometimes families even stop talking to each other over things such as inheritance. Now, this next story we're about to get into, though, someone has actually died as the result of an argument over inheritance. So, on the 23rd of August 2019, Nadir Ali of Edward Road in Balsall Heath in Birmingham had become embroiled in a family dispute over land in Pakistan that had been given to him by his aunt last summer. This came as a result after the land and a series of properties and shops in Pakistan, estimated to be worth around £200,000, was left by the family's granddad, who had passed away, and left it to Hashim Khan's mother, who was Nadir's cousin. She decided to transfer it over to a nephew, that being Nadir, but her sons wanted to discuss how unfair they thought this was. The Khan family had gone to seek advice from a close family friend on the 23rd of August 2019, and he agreed to act as a mediator. On that evening, one of Hashim's brothers decided to record the meeting on Wilton Road in Sparkhill, Birmingham, and everything was going well. Then, Nadir had got heated over a comment which had apparently previously been made about his father. So let's take a look at the argument and what happened after.
Three victims that's deceased and looks like Graham.
Yeah, stand by, we've got two. No worries. Have you been assaulted as well? Just take a seat for us at the minute. I just don't. What's happened? What's that? What? Just put that down for me. Put that down. No. Give me that.
Not actually at the scene and it's upstairs now.
Where's that come from?
Sorry.
What's that?
Knife.
From where?
From my home.
What? Come in here. Back. What's happened? Let me look at your hand. Okay. How have they got injured?
I hit it.
You stabbed them? Okay.
So, as you've just seen, Nadir had launched an attack against his own cousin after producing a knife from his pocket, and then went on to stab him multiple times, 11 to be exact. Other family members were stabbed and injured as they tried to stop the attack, which eventually had spilled out onto the street. West Midlands police would go on to say, our CCTV inquiries later showed Mr. Khan and his brothers staggering out of the house and into the road before collapsing from their injuries. And as you've just seen, arresting officers had found Nadir at the house where the attack had taken place, and this was captured on body-worn cameras, and he was standing in a blood-stained hallway, admitting that he had caused the injuries to the men in the house. After finding Hashim dead at the scene, he was then arrested on suspicion of murder, and the area had been cordoned off while police had made their inquiries. Police also found Hashim's brothers Zahul Khan and Luqman Khan, who had stab injuries. Zahul was taken to hospital in critical condition after getting a stab wound to his liver, but later he recovered from his injuries, and Luqman suffered no life-threatening injuries. Taj Mubarak, who I believe was a family friend, was also found with stab wounds which wasn't life-threatening. On the day of the stabbing, a neighbour described to reporters how people had tried to save Hashim's life. It's crazy. I was on Ladypool Road and I got a phone call from home saying there's been some kind of disturbance. By the time I got there was already a couple of people holding the lad, pressing down on his wounds. It was terrible. I looked at him and someone told him to recite his prayers. He wasn't going to make it. Then, on the 27th of August 2019, after being arrested by police, Nadir had made his first appearance at Birmingham Magistrates Court, accused of his cousin's death and 3 counts of wounding. After this hearing, he was remanded into custody and was due before Birmingham Crown Court on the 29th of August 2019. So, on the 29th of August 2019, he made his first appearance at Birmingham Crown Court, and he appeared in the dock wearing a grey tracksuit and was flanked by a security officer. At this hearing, there was no application for bail, and Nadir was again remanded into custody, with Judge Simon Drew QC adjourning the case for a plea hearing at Birmingham Crown Court once again on the 18th of November 2019, and he set a trial date for February 17th, 2020. And at that plea hearing on the 18th of November, he pleaded not guilty to all charges. violence. I'm unsure at this current time when the trial had started, but the first report on the trial had come out on the 26th of February 2020. Here it was heard that Hashim, who was a father, had been stabbed to death by his own cousin Nadir after Hashim had told him, "I will not spare you." The court was then told that Nadir had plunged a knife into Hashim 11 times after the argument had heated up into a fight. The court was also told that 3 other men, 2 who were Hashim's brothers, were also stabbed in the heated argument which we previously spoke about. Stefan Leinen, QC prosecuting, said the brothers had only recently discovered that the victim's mother had left property to the defendant rather than to them. He said they had met at a house on Wilton Road, Sparkhill, to try and resolve the dispute on August 23rd, 2019. Mr. Leinen had gone on to say the meeting was recorded by one of the brothers and had initially started off peacefully, but violence soon broke out. He said that Nadir took the knife from his back pocket and attacked and stabbed Hashim, going on to say he tried to escape. He fled from the room and Nadir pursued him and continued to stab him. He got to the front door, but Nadir stood over him. He actually stabbed him 11 times in various body parts, with one of the stab wounds entering his heart. He collapsed outside in the street. He was fatally injured. He died in the street in spite of the heroic efforts of paramedics. He went on to say Zahul Khan and Lukman Khan, the brothers, tried to intervene, but they got stabbed as well. Taj Mubarak got a knife straight through his arm. The prosecution would go on to say that Zahul Khan was seriously injured, with one of the wounds piercing his liver, as we previously spoke about. He said the defendant was arrested at the property, and when asked what happened, he said they were abusing me, and he did not answer questions that were put to him by police. At a later court date, the jury at the trial was shown CCTV footage of Hashim being repeatedly stabbed at the front door of the house. Explaining the CCTV footage that's shown to the jury, DC Barry Bevan had said, as Hashim Khan, comes into view, you can see he's falling onto the front doorstep. He is effectively lying on his side. Nadir Ali is now over Hashim Khan and starting to crouch down. You can see that Nadir Ali is making a stabbing action. Hashim is now standing up and walks down the front steps of the property. There is an item which you can see in Nadir Ali's hands. After a short while, many more people will appear in the street. The court then heard that heroic attempts were made to save Mr. Khan, but he had died at the scene. So today, on the 12th of March 2020, after the trial was wrapped up, Nadir Ali was found guilty of murder and 3 charges of wounding with intent by a jury. After the verdicts, Judge Christina Montgomery QC told him, "You must understand that the sentence I'll pass will be one of life imprisonment. What will be determined is how long you'll serve before you're considered eligible for release." And Nadir Ali will be sentenced on the 18th of March 2020 at Birmingham Crown Court. And when he gets sentenced, I'll more than likely make a community tab on it rather than a video, because there's literally no more information we could put into a video. So on the 18th of March, come check my community tab out and you'll find out how long his sentence was. So I just want to take this time out and say rest in peace to Hashim, and my condolences are with his family at this current time. Now, it's pretty sad to think that you could go and kill your own cousin over an inheritance dispute. Now, at the end of the day, you've gone on and killed him. He's not going to get any inheritance now. You're not going to get any inheritance now. He's lost his life and you're more than likely going to go down for a long time, so you lost your life as well. So is it really worth it over a little bit of money, over a bit of land, over shops or whatever it was specifically? Is it worth it for 2 of your family members to lose their lives? And the fact that he attempted to go and kill more of his family members that were trying to save Hashim is just absolutely crazy to think. So I just want you guys to learn from this, and if there's any disputes in your family over money, anything like that, please just try and settle it in a calm way. Please just try and calm the person down. Don't over escalate things, because honestly, money and property is definitely not worth your life. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.